If I go on a holiday, I always like to learn a bit of the local language. It makes it easier to connect with the local people, and usually you end up in like really cool places where the local people will take you if you speak to them in their own language. So that's why I'm making this video, and I want to show you guys to say, how are you in 21 different languages. I decided to already write it down since you can see my writing is pretty horrible. So to make you guys be able to read it, I already wrote it down. Well, the first one is my own language, so that's pretty easy for me to do. In Dutch, you say how are you by saying alles goed, alles goed. In German, a lot of people think Dutch and German is like the same language, but it's not. In German, you say how are you as wie geht's dir? In French, you say comment ça va? In Spanish, you say, well, I write it down like como estás, is the way it's written, but you say it like without the O and without the S. You more say like come sta. In Italy, they say come stai. Pretty much, these languages pretty much look like the same in Europe. In Portuguese, you say como vai? Okay, now on to something totally different, Russian. I write it like как дела, but the pronunciation is without the E, so you say как dela. In Croatia, they say kako zi, but in the pronunciation, it is almost without the O. They usually say like kagzi. On to Turkish. Writing it down, it makes it look pretty difficult, but the pronunciation is easier. I write it like nasal sinin, but you pronounce it like nasasin. Like na is sin. This is an E if you're questioning. In Greek, they say posiste. In Morocco, they say lebes. Pretty easy. Okay, on to classic Arabic. I'm not sure if I wrote it down in the right way. If it's different, let me know in the comments, please. You know, there are a lot of different Arabic countries with a lot of different dialects, but I thought this was the classic one. So anyway, the pronunciation is kef halek. Pretty sure about that. It's more like kef halek. In Iran, they say chotori. It says the E, I think the pronunciation goes towards an O, where they say chotori. In Thailand, they use sabai di mai. Pretty easy. Malaysia, Indonesia, they both speak the same language in the two countries. Dialects might be different, but the language is called Malay. And they say, how are you? As following, apa kabar? Pretty easy one. In the Philippines, a lot of people think in the Philippines they speak something like Filipino or something, but actually the language is called Tagalog. And in Tagalog, you say, how are you? By saying, kumusta ka? There is a space between kumusta and ka, but you can say it like one fluid word, like kumusta ka. So, in South Korea, they say, 안녕 하세요. It looks really difficult, but if you practice it a few times, it's pretty easy. I always like to say in Korea, they sing their language. They go like, 안녕 하세요. I don't mean to make fun of you guys, but in Japanese, they say, well, you write it like this, genki desu ka, but actually it's more like kinki desu ka. Kinki. Desu ka. That's like the way to pronounce it, kinki desu ka. In Chinese, ni hao means hello, and if you just add ma to it, you already say how are you, so ni hao ma. In Kenya, they speak Swahili. There are a lot of African countries where they speak Swahili. I'm not sure which ones, but I'm pretty sure Kenya is one. And in Swahili, to say how are you, you say habari gani. Pretty cool. And the last one, the 21st one, is Hebrew. In Hebrew, you say how are you by saying manishma. This is like the general how are you. There is a difference between male and female, but you can say this to everyone. Manishma. Okay guys, thanks for watching, and if you have any comments, please tell them, and don't do them about my writing because I know that's horrible, please. And okay, hope to see you in my next video. Thanks.